I just want to tell them, like, hey, bro, like, you have to offer value.
Yeah.
Just showing your haircut isn't enough anymore. Damn, I started counting. I was just like, I looked at all my emails and I was just like, bro, I just did over 50 classes this year. Like, what the fuck? I plan to officially probably retire from cutting hair.
What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Los Cut It, and you're in the cut with today's guest. But first, my homie Baby Horchata.
Oh, he got it right.
You were talking crap earlier.
I know. I had to make sure, bro, because, bro, my boy Platano Gucci over here, man, flying from DR or Egypt, wherever he came from, and he can't even get his name right, man.
I'm just horrible with names. But yeah, Baby Horchata, also known as Ruben.
Yes.
What's up, my bro?
Bro, this is the season finale, bro.
Oh, it is. This is the finale. That's it. Yeah, you're right. Crap.
Bro, we've made it, man, and I appreciate you watching every week that we drop, man. We can't do this without you guys, and this is the main thing, bro. Like you said in the beginning of the year, bro, beginning of the season, you just want this for the primary reason to lock in information forever. Facts. Whether we watch this 2 or 3 years from now, we have information that people can learn from. So big ups to the whole In the Cut podcast family, JC, Average Panda. We've made it to the finale of season 1 and excited for the future. But today, we have another banger for you guys. Would you like to introduce him? You've been introducing
of course.
The last couple
no.
ones.
I mean, you want to introduce him?
I'll
introduce him. No.
Do your thing.
I was like, all right, guys. So all the way from Tucson, Arizona. This guy's a beast. There's a reason why he's on this podcast, man, and we're gonna talk about that today. It's pretty cool. I like to think of this person as somebody who, if you were deep in the game and you know what's going on, you definitely know who this person is. And for those of you guys that are just starting off, maybe their careers and are looking into getting inspired by certain individuals, he's definitely somebody you should look at, because he's definitely someone that looks ahead and pays attention to not just what's in, but what's coming. But without further ado, everybody, man, introduced to my bro, Mr. Barber Phill. What up, baby?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Chilling, man. How's it feel to be here in Chicago, bro? I know it's cold.
It's cold as shit, but I got here and I said, fuck, man.
What's the weather out there by you?
Probably a solid 90.
Right now?
Well, Tucson weather it's very bipolar. Like morning it's like 40.
Okay. Because I see you got a thermal on. I was like,
yeah.
was that for Chicago?
I packed accordingly.
Okay, yeah, good. Yeah,
but, it's up and down. Like, it'll be midday, it'll be cool.
Damn.
3 o'clock it's hot as shit, and then the evening cools down again. It's hard to do. You don't even know what to wear nowadays.
Damn, you'd be like out here with like a hoodie and shorts. Just confused as hell.
No, like the other day, bro. Just 2-3 days ago, bro.
Facts,
it was
bro.
70 degrees, bro.
It was like 75, bro.
And then next day, bro, there's a little snow falling.
It's supposed to snow tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I stopped looking at it. I'm like, the weather's failed me, so I just stopped looking at it because it'll tell you something and it won't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that day that it was 75, we were out here, and I remember stepping out of the house and I'm like, oh my God, dude, it's so gorgeous. And I'm like, we should just have a chill day, bro. I'm like, let's look at the weather for the rest of the weekend. I'm like, if it's nice all weekend, then no, we're gonna continue with the schedule. We looked at the weather for the next day. It was gonna be from 75, dude, to 38. Yeah. And then Sunday was gonna be the worst. It was gonna be like 40. So, I mean, like 30 or so. I don't know. It was gonna be low. It's snowing. So I just ended up taking Friday as a chill day, enjoy the weather.
I've been here before, and it was like, I think it was negative when I was here. And as soon as I hit,
doing what? Working?
Yeah, I was out here doing a class. We were working.
So you come to Chicago a lot for classes, right?
Yeah, I've been out here a few times. But been able to blessed enough to travel a lot, across the country and stuff. But
no, dude, that's sick. So one of the reasons why I wanted to get you out here, man, was just kind of share your story. I know Mr. Official wanted to get you for his academy, and we kind of just teamed up. And I was like, dude. Right now, at the time when I reached out to you, I was just trying to get the podcast going, man.
Yeah.
And it was that or do like a one-on-one. But I was like, you know what, man, right now, with me leaving town tomorrow, with you arriving and having that whole, like, situation of getting here, I was like, the best thing is get our minds right for the podcast. Whatever, I could learn from you tomorrow at the school, the students and all that's cool. I know I'm going to see you again eventually.
Yeah, for sure.
We could do something then. We could even jump on a collab. Because I had a lot of shit planned, bro. I ain't going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But it all just, I didn't know what time you were flying in. I found out last night because called me and he was like, he'll be in between 11:30 12 by the time he gets to you. So I planned like 2, right?
Yeah.
But then, all that
things
happened.
Airports happen.
But you know what? Like I said, I just wanted to share your story here, bro. So there's a lot of things I want to go ahead and talk about.
Yeah.
And I know, Ruben, you always jump in and kind of ask for your own personal opinions as far as like someone who isn't biased, who's not a barber.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. Phill, let me ask you this. while you were here cutting hair, you were showing. You were gonna gift me a pair of shears, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What kind of shears are these?" And so you own your own company for shears, or
Yeah,
how
I'm
was
partnered
that?
up with the company. It's called Top Edge Shears.
Nice.
Met somebody, the owner, the guy that owned it originally.
Okay.
Met him a few years back, and I worked with a lot of companies. I worked with Hanzo, with Serious About Scissors, a lot of different companies, and I really liked what he had. Like he had a great product at a great price, and he really just he believed in me, and I fucked with that,
Nice. Now, does he do anything like payment plans?
Yeah, we do payment plans. It's the motto is for great quality scissors at a good price.
Nice.
And so we've been able to, sell a lot of scissors and be able to get, because I know like a lot of barbers don't buy good scissors.
Right. Yeah.
I ask barbers like, well, where'd you buy your scissors at? And they're like, oh, I went to Sally's and bought some like $20,
Yeah,
some
that's
$20
crazy.
scissors. I'm like, nah, bro, like get that shit and just throw it in the trash real quick. Like,
That's
nah,
crazy.
And so we've been able to give barbers good scissors and then branch out to stylists and things like that. But definitely love the company and definitely been,
That's cool because you're one of the very few people that I know that work for like, their own shirt company in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I know you hear about the Hanzos, the Mustangs, and all that, but I've never heard of the brand you had, and it's dope to know that you're a part of it. So now you were gonna give me the ones that you gave me look sick,
Yeah.
but fortunately you just found out
No,
I'm
I
lefty.
got you. We're gonna mail them out. We're mailing them out. We got you.
He was giving them to me, Ruben, and he was like, "Yo, these are yours." And I'm looking at him like right off the bat. I mean, first thing I ask when people just be like, "Oh, just use my scissors," I'm like, "I can't, bro. I'm lefty." So I'm always aware of that. So when he pulled these out, as soon as he pulled them out, I just see they were righty, and I didn't want to interrupt him because he was just like, "Yo, these are man." He's breaking it down to me, and I'm just like, "It's so nice. It was a dope ass. It was like a lot of designs on them and everything."
Uh-huh.
Then I let him finish, and I was like, "These ain't lefty." And he's like, "No."
What do they say? It's like 10% of the population's lefty.
Lefty,
right?
yeah. So it's bro. People forget about left-handers until like I'm in the crowd. And sometimes when I teach class, I like to just be like, any lefties in here? You'll get like one person, maybe two. But that's the first thing I looked at. They were dope. If you can get those in
No, I got
lefty,
you. Yeah, we're
Dude.
shipping them.
because I need something like that. I'm working with 6s right now and 5.5s. So I know that one was what, like a 4.5, 5.
Yeah, but I like using them about 4.5. I use a real small scissor
Yeah, for everything.
for cutting, like for doing shear work on top.
Wow.
Like just to feel them a little bit more agile. And in reality, you're not really cutting past the second knuckle, so it's like a lot of scissors don't.
That's a good way of looking at it. Joel was just in here showing me some really cool tricks with like. Well, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You're saying I get for what we do, you won't
Yeah.
really cut. But the way he was breaking it down, because he cuts with a 7.
Yeah.
And he's in there like
He's cutting
holy.
with a lot of hair. though,
Yeah, he's working. He's in mid shaft. The hair is like flared out. He's working these 7s like nothing, and I'm just like 7 inches, bro, which is fucking it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I thought you were with me on that.
I
thought you were with me on
no,
that.
I'm a child of God, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know if that stare.
What type of podcast is this?
No, I didn't know if that stare was. I know what you did, or I was like, wait a minute, Z lost. But yeah,
I think we all did though. We were like,
so.
It is big.
But he
yeah.
was killing it with the 7 inches, bro, and so
All
right, bro, chill. But no, that was hilarious. I caught myself so last minute. I'm like, here we go. But that's dope. I actually work with 5.5s now because who does it? His name is Justin. I can't remember his full Instagram name. He worked for Hanzo, but he was showing me something about like every time he uses a whole 5.5, 6, it covers the whole side of the person. So it allows you to work like the way he broke it down. It made sense, and I was like, okay, so 5.5, 6 inches. I'll work with that. I know people that use smaller shears to do like bangs and detail and all
Yeah.
that. So I get that, right? You get a variety of shears for a variety of purposes. This is why I tell barbers all the time, like, dude, I get it. There was a video that my homie Platano Gucci sent me is on TikTok. This guy was like, yo, guys, check out my suite, my garage suite for all you garage barbers. And he's going in there and he's showing up. This is my chair. You got to walk through all these like boxes. And then he shows his setup. He's like, this is my setup. And he's just got one clipper in there. Now, I don't know if that was on purpose to be like, oh, only got one clipper.
Yeah.
But the way, if my man was really a garage barber, I wouldn't doubt it that he only had one clipper. And that clipper was a master. So we all know, like, masters are a good tool to have, but it's not the best tool to only have. You can do a lot more with a variety of tools. So you get a variety of tools, you could do a lot more. This is why I tell barbers, like, dude, get more than one shears. I get you got a pair of shears and you probably invested in some nice ones. But at the same time, get you other kinds, different types of texturizers because they're all going to do different things. You're not trying to cut someone's nose hair or clean someone's eyebrow with some 7-inch shears. You know what I mean? It makes no fucking sense.
Puro sangre está saliendo, bro. You
Yeah.
see a piece of the brain and stuff.
Dude, and I've had it. I mean, even with like barbers, when they try to line you, that ever happened to you, Phil, when you're lining someone's forehead and then just automatically just slice the eyebrow, and you got to play it off. Like, you know, I've been there. So a lot of barbers, if you got these big shears and you don't know how you're handling them, you're gonna slice your finger, guarantee.
Yeah, they all serve a purpose. There's depending on what I'm doing is what I'm using, kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like you said, like you got the thinning shears, your texturizing shears. 7 inches I'm using for like waves, you know, fro shaping, shear over comb. Then when you get into like the 6, you know, it's a little bit different, more work. Just depends, like you said, length of the hair,
Yeah.
and just depending on what I'm trying to do.
I know that whole bag you showed me. That's all your scissors.
Yeah, that's just what I carry on the regular.
How many are in there?
There was about like 10.
Damn, bro. I don't
They,
even.
they all serve a purpose.
I'm sure. Damn. Now, do you work with? So another reason why I wanted you on here, man, because I gotta give you props, bro. You're one of the very few barbers that works with shears really well. I can tell just based off your videos.
Thank you.
And I can tell who doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell videos when they're editing, like, this guy don't know what he's doing. But based off how you work and you operate, you do that, and you also do classes, man. You do one-on-ones. You teach. You're out here in Chicago a lot. So how is that, man? How busy are you when it comes to doing these classes? Why do you do them compared to just more? I know you got barbershops, more than just focus being at home and running that operation.
Yes. So when it came to like teaching, honestly, like I've always been a sharer. Like before I did classes, when I got to the shop, I learned like this new technique that I saw on Instagram, or you know, like I learned this new thing, and I go to the shop and like, hey, like this is what I learned. You know, I tried this out.
Right.
And like at first, it was kind of like, oh, like Phill fucking thinks he knows everything. You know, he's like,
Dude, I know.
Yeah, but it was just like, no, bro. Like I'm trying to put you on. Like I want you to learn. So then it kind of shifted to where people started reaching out, and then first I was doing it for free, and then it was like,
Wow.
let me help you out. I got you. And like I just liked sharing, and then I found out, oh wait, people will pay me for this. And then I started throwing out numbers and like, say this is what I'm charging, and then it created a whole platform for me, and to where it's pretty much taken over my whole career. Where
Nice.
now it's like I cut very minimally in a shop,
Right.
full-time education, and content. You know, it's just
Right.
it kind of shifted for me. I would say probably in the past like 2 years.
Okay.
And so in the past 2 years,
Right
it
off the
really-
pandemic, during the pandemic, before
honestly,
the pandemic.
to be real with you, it was right after the pandemic.
Okay, right when we were just kicking it
and,
back off.
And at first, I didn't know why, and I was just like, "Why are people like hitting me up for classes?" I didn't know why, because I was good 3 years ago. I didn't understand. All of a sudden, man, people started wanting to fuck with me, and I think. Honestly, personally, I think what it was when we started going live. You remember I had you on that free game Wednesday. We did like a live.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and it was dope because I feel like people really got to know me. And so like once people kind of got to know me, they really like, okay, like he's good at scissors or whatever, you know, whatever. But they kind of like vibe with me or whatever. And then people started connecting with me. And then it just became a regular thing to where I think last year I did over 50 classes.
Damn. Okay.
And so it's become a thing where it's every Sunday, Monday, it's just classes.
At home?
Back home.
Damn.
And I was blessed enough to have I've had people fly out from Connecticut, Florida, Alabama, North Carolina, like all over the country, to where like they seen that, and like you said, they saw the show work, and they're like, you know, that's what I want to learn. And then I really started to connect with people, like I want to get to know you, and I want to be able to see what, you know, like they saw
Right.
beyond just scissors.
Right.
And so it really took off for me, and it's like I said, it's taken up a big chunk of my time. It's just education now.
No, that's dope, dude. That 50 classes, that's a lot. I mean, dude, I mean, if you put it in perspective, Mr. Rubin, it's 52 weeks in a year. You feel me?
Math is hard, bro. But
That's
no.
like you're probably either doing 2 a weekend or 1 every other weekend. It's tough.
Yeah, I started with the 1 days, and then I felt like it was like super compressed, where I was trying to like teach you all this stuff
Yeah.
in 1 day. So then I started shifting out to 2 days, 3-day courses, and I kind of see, like, I think you recently took like a 5-day course.
Yeah, with Josh.
So eventually I'm trying to go into that
yeah,
to where
dude.
it's like I tell them, like, you could never learn how to fade hair in a day.
No
So
way.
there's no way I can show you shear work in 1 day. So I started branching it out, and that's where my classes spaced out more towards like 2-day courses now. And so we really get to break down what we're doing.
That's sick. My bad, Ruben. You were gonna say something? It's
Oh.
like what?
No, I was gonna ask, like, what's the culture in AZ like when it comes to the cosmetology barber world? Like, you know,
Yo, they're on.
Yo, because you see, like,
Yeah.
because you see, like, LA got its own swag, Chicago got its own swag. AZ is growing in many different aspects. You know, I already be
Yeah.
messing with Scottsdale, and a bunch of my influencer homies move over there,
Yeah.
and they just grow substantially, and it's a great market. So, you know, Scottsdale being 2 hours away from where you're at,
Yeah.
even Tucson's still booming, Phoenix is booming. Like, What is the culture out there
Like the barber culture?
Yeah.
The barber culture's it's always been good. And I've always said that like Arizona has very, very good barbers. But I think finally within probably this past year, like barbers have really started to put themselves out there. So it's like you're the dope barber that works at the shop, you know, and you're booked up. I get that. But if you're not promoting yourself and putting yourself out there, people are never gonna know.
Right.
Especially like in this day and age, like everything's social media.
Yeah, facts.
And so I feel that finally people are really like starting to build names for themselves, and people are starting to recognize, oh well, these guys are from Arizona. Like I never even been there, or I think they call Tucson, people call it Tucson. Like so it's like nah, it's like they think of it like some one horse town. And it's like no man, like there's a lot. I think we have over 1 million people now
Damn.
that live there, and so it's like there's a lot of good talent. It's just people weren't putting themselves out there like they should be.
I think that's in a lot of cities, man. I mean, I can still say the same thing about Chicago. There's a lot of good talent that you probably never heard of. That if I introduce you to, you're like, damn. But like, here's what I think. Like, I get putting on for your city, but at the same time, I just focused on myself, because I've learned that if you always try to bring people with you and convince people to see your dreams or their dreams and all that, like people, like you said, bro, people that are gonna want to be a part of it are gonna reach out to you.
Yes.
You don't have to force anyone yet, and that's what happens. And I just started focusing more on myself, and it's crazy because since I started doing that a couple years ago, I got a whole different group of friends that I hang out with all the time.
Yeah.
Because we're all focused on the idea of making it somewhere. So I get that. But Tucson, yeah, shout out to what is it, Barber Co Supply?
Yeah, the Barber Supply.
Yeah, dude.
Barber Supply Code. Tucson.
Barber Supply Co and Tucson. Them dudes, they flew me out for an event. Mind, like I was telling you, dude, I went to Tucson one other time, and this definitely wasn't what I experienced when I was with you guys. And we went, and I was blown away, dude, because to me, like, I guess at the time, I went to El Paso like 10 years ago, and when I went there, I didn't know what El Paso was. I just knew A-Rod and Papito and P were there. So when I got to see it, it was like, it's a small town. It's like, compared to Chicago, I felt like it was, what's the best way of putting it? Wasn't up to speed with what
it's a
today.
little bit behind.
Yeah, it's a little bit behind, not in a bad way, but yeah, you can't compare a city like Chicago to El Paso, Texas, right? So when I first went to visit Tucson, I kind of got similar vibes to it,
Yes,
because
very
I
much.
I didn't get like the city the view that I got when the recent time that I went. So I get this time, I'm expecting the same thing, bro. I'm like, these guys are probably gonna be super chill. Probably just maybe go to your local restaurant, get some food. Nah, bro. We ended up going to some downtown area.
Bro.
They had fire dancers, females, like they were serving. It was a vibe. The clubs, the outings out there it was like, you know, we're from Chicago. You're either outside in the summer or you're inside. Ain't no in between. It's very rare. And they got clubs over there that are designed to be outside, inside. Like there's no. It was such a vibe, dude.
Yeah.
The people were such a vibe. The barbering game, the talent, it was cool. It was definitely caught me off guard. And modernized, bro. You guys are up to date with a lot of shit. But then again, the internet obviously helps, right?
Yeah, it's growing. And it's funny that you said like El Paso. Like I've been to El Paso a lot. That's probably like, for a while that was like my second home. I've done tons and tons of classes there, and I felt like it was my second home because it's just like Tucson. It's the same vibe, you know, same kind of border town style, you know.
Right. Hell yeah, dude. Now let me ask you this: how long you been doing hair, bro?
I've been doing hair now in a shop 14 years.
How long you been cutting hair in general?
19.
19? What age did you start?
13.
13.
Yeah.
When did you start working at a shop?
I started working at a shop as soon as I got out of high school, because I think I've had one job. I worked at Discount Tire. I remember when I was the legal age was like 15 and 7 months. The day that I turned 15 and 7 months, my mom took me to Discount Tire and says, "You're gonna get a job. Like you're gonna start working." I was just like, "All right."
Ponte a trabajar, mijo.
Yeah, and at the time I was already cutting hair, so it was like I was doing both.
Nice.
And so as soon as I turned 18, my dad told me, "He's like, what are you gonna do with your life? Like you graduated high school, you're gonna work at Discount Tire." And I was making good money at the time. Like it was good money back then, you know.
Right.
And I was, you know, living well. But it's like I just didn't see myself busting tires. Like it just wasn't for me.
Especially at a young age,
And
right?
even I remember I got bad skin working there, man. Like because it's the grease from the tires and shit like that. Like it wasn't for me. And so I already had been cutting hair, and I remember that I met this dude, and he opened up a shop.
Okay.
And he's just like, "Hey, like come work over here." And I was just like, "All right, cool." You know.
He was a customer?
Yeah, I just met him.
Oh,
and
shit.
Yeah, he was a friend of a friend. Like I knew him mutually. He was a friend of my aunt's, and he gave me a job there when I was 18, and I've just been working in the shop since. I actually didn't even go to barber school till I was almost 21.
Wow.
But you know, there's a lot of barbers that have done the whole, you know, worked in shops and stuff, and I was one of those barbers. But
How strict was Tucson?
It's not that. It's not like.
Yeah, same thing with Chicago. Chicago was like, it was real chill, and then just started barely cracking down. But man,
Yeah.
people were unlicensed for years.
I think I haven't seen state board probably like in 4 or 5 years, to be honest.
Okay, so it's not something people worry about as much over there.
Yeah, nah. I think they are cracking down because I think they just recently merged with the cosmetology board,
Okay, damn.
and so they popped up. They popped up when I wasn't there, and
Okay.
so they've been popping up more. But yeah, I know a lot of barbers that have done that, and honestly, I'm glad I went through that because it taught me a lot. Because I remember when I started, the guy's like, "Do you know how to use shears?" I'm like, "Yeah, a razor." I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't know how to use none of that shit." I was just winging it, bro, and it was one of those like sink or swim things.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
yeah, and I remember the guys would look at me like, "Damn, this dude's fuck." Like I can just
Oh,
feel that
man.
energy of people like noticing that I'm fucking up heads.
But dude, well, don't make you fucking breaks you. Same thing
Exactly.
with me.
So
Like,
it was totally sink or swim, bro. And so I'm glad I went through that, and
you fucking survived.
I did, and I finally went to barber school. Then I think you had told me earlier it took you like 2 years something like that to finish school, and
Yeah.
it took me that long too, bro. Cause
Were you part time?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
because I was working in the shop, then going to school,
Yeah.
and so I kind of fell in love. I guess you could say like I fell in love with being in the shop, so I would
Mm-hmm.
never want to go to school. But then finally, I had to just like
Yeah.
nut up and just finish school,
Yeah.
and then
Get right.
yeah, and
Yeah.
make things right, and just keep doing what I was doing.
Same, man. I just renewed my Cosmo license, and it's like every time I renew it, I'm like, oh, thank God I got that out the way, because it's a pain in the ass,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. I don't think Barber.
No, it's a pain in the ass. It's
Barb-
not even that expensive, right? It's only like
No,
a
it's like
couple
$100,
but
but
it's a pain in the ass.
it's just something you have to do. It's
Yeah.
like barbering is once you get licensed in barbering, it's like you're good. But I wanted to ask you this, Ruben, because as you was talking about it, I thought about it. I'm like, so you probably don't know this, and then the industry of barbers mainly is this little war that was kicking off like heavy a couple years back. It's still going on, but it's not as loud as it was. There's a lot. It's like a great percentage of barbers, bro. Like 60%, 60%, something crazy of barbers aren't licensed, right?
Okay.
And the rest are. So the people that were licensed, like, would always be on social media just talking about get right, get right. You're cutting illegally, and then how shops would hate on each other is that they called state board on each other. So if I got beef with a shop,
I've
dude,
never heard of that.
what, dude? Out here in
No.
Chicago, like if shops had beef with other shops, they would call the state board.
Holy shit.
And then my mans will walk in, everybody's licensed, and people will get shut down. There's a lot of, bro, it was crazy. So it's not going on as much now. But I wanted to, if comedy was similar to that, right? What if you technically needed a license to be a comedian and go on stage and tell jokes, but the state board didn't really care as much, so they were like somehow people were sneaking in without licenses and being funny as fuck, making money, killing it, while you're here knowing you went to school and all that to get your license to go up stage. How would you feel, and how do you think the industry would be if that was the case for the comedians?
That's 60% of the comedy community.
Now, don't
Would
get the
you-
numbers wrong, man.
would-
What do you
would-
think,
no.
Phil? Do you agree
No, I'm
with 60?
saying-
Do you think 50? Do you 40?
I'd say maybe 50.
Yeah,
We'll,
it's half.
we'll meet in the middle.
Well,
50,
60% of the comedians now coming
Aren't
up,
funny.
And I would say they would get retired almost immediately because they can't just go to an open mic and work on the thing, bro. Some people just really ain't funny, and but in that aspect, I don't know, man, because it's the same thing. When it comes to different lifestyles, right? Like let's bring up student loan, right? Now that they have some student loan debt relief, I would never hate on these kids getting it now, because I had to pay for my loans. I don't hate on them. I'm actually happy for
Yes.
them that they didn't have to go through the same struggle that I had to.
Facts.
So if these kids couldn't afford going to barber school, because they're not just going to school, it's making that time, bro. How many hours do you have to be at barber school for?
$1,500.
Yeah, see, some people,
Here, how is it by you?
I think they just dropped it down to 1,200.
Okay.
that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I understand a lot of these kids are just trying to make it out the hood, and they can't even make it into their barbershop
Yeah.
without getting, you know what I'm saying? So I to be honest, for me, bro, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't think I'd get hurt or anything like that. I'd say, do it. I mean, do what you got to do. But if it's going to benefit you to get this license, so you don't get it stripped away from you, then do it. But if you think you can run away from such time for so long, then do your thing, because everything's about a peace of mind.
Yeah.
I'm sure none of these cats have a peace of mind.
No.
I'm sure every
Yeah.
time they see
That
us-
is facts, bro.
I'm sure anytime they see
Do you
a-
remember what it was before we got licensed?
Yeah.
That was, bro, anytime if somebody walked in with
Bro,
a clipboard, you're
dude.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
I like to sit in the backstation just in case
So,
they showed up. I'd be
compared,
gone.
well, compared to you guys have your license. Y'all are more chill. They're like, okay, nice white man with gray hair, okay. And
Yeah.
then to compare to like, I'm sure they're like, oh, hey, I'm gonna take.
You know what it felt like, Ruben? Like being an illegal immigrant.
Probably.
La
bro.
migra, you see
La
the-
migra.
that my man walks in with that professional haircut that
Man.
you know no one in the shop could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
Run to the back.
You're like, oh shit.
Yo, Phil, we got a special guest in here, man. I did not expect this at all. Mr. Ruben, if you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the honors. What's up, sir? Don't switch over. Yeah, of course. What? You're not gonna show up mid podcast and not. Come on, man. So, yeah, our next guest who just came out the blue for this love and the support.
My
Put him
boy.
in, coach. Put him in, coach.
What up, everybody?
The one and only, the
The
official
official.
referee,
Damn, these are some official headphones right here.
Mr. Official Cuts. What up,
Hear
Mr.
my
Yak?
son- yo, what
What
up?
up? Yee.
What camera am
You
I
just-
looking at?
You
Hold on.
can't. Oh, you're right
Yeah.
in front, baby. Right here.
Oh, yeah, let me get my stuff together real quick. What's up? man? What's going on?
Just
man?
speaking to the mic, you'd be good.
What's the word, yo?
Man, dude, you know what? So I hung up the phone with you, and then Phil's like, "What did Yak say?" I'm like, "Man, he said he's gonna just close down the event. He's gonna go get a quick bite, and he might shoot over here for the podcast." And he's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what that means? He probably won't even come for the podcast, but I got you." And then, bro, I was wrong. I stand corrected.
Good.
You showed
I
up.
I still have that element of surprise. You know what I mean?
You know, I did not expect you to show up mid podcast.
I'm here, man.
What's good,
I
man?
didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you can.
Phil, welcome to Chicago, man.
Thank you for having
Yes,
me.
sir,
man. I
man.
appreciate
You know, you're obviously here with the GOAT. Shout out to everybody that's in the
He brought the
building.
team. I was like, damn, got a whole squad. Phil, you see, that's not my audience. That's Phil's audience.
Oh, I know, because I don't know any of them. Shout out to everybody from Arizona. I'm assuming they're all
Yeah.
from. So are they in your shop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's the word?
Yeah, we got some. Well, I was politicking, man. You got some questions for Mr. Phil. Now you got him here. Why don't you drop
Yeah.
some gems on him?
How's your flight?
The flight was good.
Cool.
The exit was terrible, but we made it.
You
We
keep
made
flying through Midway or O'Hare?
O'Hare.
O'Hare. See,
Yeah.
everybody that's listening to this podcast right now, if you can fly into Midway, preferably
Yeah.
fly into Midway. It's a lot less congested, a
No.
lot less, O'Hare is one of the, if not I think the second busiest airport in the United States.
That's what it was. It
Yeah.
was just-
After New York, I think.
it was a mess.
No,
we got lost
The
about 4
busiest is
times.
LA, is it?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Really?
They got the biggest.
Yeah, it's
and then
Atlanta,
I would
and then
assume
JFK.
Miami.
Isn't it JFK after that?
I have no clue.
Yeah, I think it's JFK, but it's big,
Yeah, so Midway.
and it was.
Yeah, Midway-
I flew
you're
out of
close.
Midway before. I've been at
Yeah.
and it's a lot. It reminded me of like Tucson.
And it's
like,
closer to here.
It was like 2 or 3 terminals, and this had like
There's
12.
about 3 airlines that fly out of Midway, so it's a
Yeah.
lot smaller, a lot quicker. That's about it. But yeah, man, excited to have you here,
Thank you.
man. You know, we were at the academy today. We had an event there.
Yeah.
Else I would have been here a little sooner. But yeah, man. So students are hyped up to have you tomorrow. So it's excited. We're excited to have you. I'm excited to have you. And
You should see the
Yeah.
cut he did today.
is it here?
Yeah, of course. Let's see if we get the models stand up real
Oh,
quick.
you know what? I spotted them when they walked in. I was like, yo, my man came in fresh.
Look at that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, clean, real clean. It's like
Dope.
the way he styled it was sick.
Oh, that whole
Oh, yeah.
that whole.
So
cut
Phil,
fire.
Phil, what you doing tomorrow? I know you're doing a class. All right, so let me ask you this: as an
Yeah.
educator myself,
Yes.
do you prepare for right now? You doing Yak's class
Yeah.
for his students. Do you have an idea, or do you kind of just raw?
No,
Go raw.
I like to be prepared. I got like.
You're one of those. When's
I
your
got,
birthday,
I
man?
got that anxiety problem. I got that thing called anxiety where like I have to
What's
know. I have
when's
to
your
know-
birthday, bro?
February. I'm a Pisces.
you're-
man.
oh, you're
Yeah, I'm
Pisces,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Nah. Get into the mic.
Me and him spoke probably like 7 times. He's like, so how much time do I have? Like, and what are we covering? And every like 7 different phone calls, and I'm like, man, my man's really like, man, he's on it, man, and I respect that and I appreciate that. And I was just like, I was just constantly like, it's an academy. We're all students.
Yeah.
There's a lot of students, so pretty much whatever you want to cover, whatever
Yeah.
you're gonna share with them is gonna be. Am I still not speaking into
No,
the
no,
mic?
you can just kind of. I feel like you're
Oh,
into it. You get comfortable, B.
This stuff is high tech. I mean, I can hear like I feel my heartbeat. Like I can hear. I'm like my heart. I can hear it in my. So I'm like, I don't know if that's supposed to be like that or not. Shout out to my man Baby Horchata. He gave me a couple punchlines before I sat down. He's like, yo. And
So
Yeah.
you're prepared?
Yeah.
Are you prepared yet? Nah, you're kind of like me, right? Just kind of wing it.
No, well, to me, I'm always prepared. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
prepared to
that's
have
true.
him as a guest.
No. I meant
But
like
I mean,
when
what
we
he wants to,
educate.
yeah, as far as what he wants to cover, again, being on a student level, whatever you want to share with them, they're gonna appreciate and they're gonna take in because everything is still so fairly new.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I know basically what he's coming in for to cover as far as like shear techniques and sectioning, parting,
Yes.
things like that. That's all things that you can never have too much of.
No, not at
Even
all.
on my level, almost been cutting for a living since '04, and I'm still still trying to perfect that and work on that. So yeah, can't wait to see what
Yeah,
you're
because
gonna bring.
I had seen it because when you had asked me originally, like I started watching, like Losa said in the beginning, like I'm always watching and I'm always like studying people and like just studying, understanding. Like I wanted to go in there and be able to deliver. And I know, like you said, I know they would appreciate it regardless. But I saw the people that you were bringing too. You have people the best in the industry going in there. I was like, all right, like I gotta make sure, I bring something good. And the fact that like, not just on that aspect, but on the aspect of like I wanted to leave and them to remember like this was dope.
Yeah, we
Like,
remember
yeah.
what Phill did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where I said I try to be over prepared. Was I knew that I had to go in there and like I want to deliver and be able to give them something that they're gonna remember forever.
I appreciate that, man. And we're looking forward to it. So, that being said, educating to the side, all that to the
Yeah.
side. You've been to Chicago before, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times.
Like,
All right, because I remember, you guys already ate today? I'm
a
assuming you
little
guys
bit
had dinner
earlier,
already?
but No, I'm hungry.
Little hungry?
I'm hungry all the time.
Okay, because I know when I went to Tucson, he's like, yo, what you want? I was like, what are you guys known for? Because Los, we travel a lot.
Yeah.
We want that, we want to experience
Yeah.
wherever it is that we're at.
Your city, yeah.
So I was like, what's Tucson known for? He's like, bro, tacos. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Run that, I want some tacos, And, obviously, being in Chicago, everybody got a little bit of Mexican in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
of course.
I was like, where we got to go? He's like, the hood. And I'm like, the hood? I'm like, man. And he's like, bro, Tucson? He's like, if you want some really good tacos, you got to go to the hood. The more hood the neighborhood is, the better the tacos. And I'm like, damn, all right. Like, you know anybody in the hood? Like, are we good over there? And sure enough, we went to the hood. And man, those are the best tacos I ever had in my life, man.
Dude,
Tucson, Arizona.
I didn't get to experience that. Thank God.
I think,
No,
it was,
but-
I think it
You
was
didn't risk
me,
your life for some
it was-
tacos?
It was me, you, Mark, and I think Joe.
Yeah, and
It was a group of us.
And when we went, as soon as we got there too, there's domestics hopping in the street, people fighting, and it was just super sketchy. I was like, damn, bro, I didn't wanna,
Damn.
I was just a little,
We
I was
were-
a little
we-
embarrassed.
We were eating dinner and we had entertainment. We were looking outside. I'm like,
people out there, domestic problems out there.
so I'm
yo,
like,
that's how it was. We were in Colombia, remember? I asked my man, I was like, yo, where's your best ceviche at? I think your best ceviche. And he was kind of rubbing his neck. He's like, He's like, okay, it's an alley, And I didn't know, like, you remember?
that? Yeah, with the cup?
We were, we were in this little car in the hood in Colombia, in the middle of nowhere. This guy gets off and walks into the alley, like a legit alley. Obviously, there's little lights in the stand in there.
I'm like, yo, lock the door.
Yeah, dude, he comes back with like styrofoam cups for ceviche, styrofoam cups with a
course.
spoon. Bro,
Bro.
the best, to this day, the best ceviche ever.
Bro, we smashed. It was delicious. It was kind of like, like getting an elote out here.
Yeah,
in Chicago,
yeah,
but with ceviche in it.
Oh, shit.
You
Yeah,
know?
crack. Oh,
I'm
it
like,
was
okay,
fire,
they got to figure it out. We might have to steal that idea and bring it to Chicago.
I don't understand why. I don't know. Ceviche out here is, I mean, in other countries like Peru, Colombia, fire, man.
Well, it's fresh.
I mean, it's-
we got Lake Michigan. Like,
Yeah.
our ceviche, you ain't eating none out of there.
You guys got good fire in Tucson, like ceviche?
Ceviche, yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably the Marisco spots are fire.
Yeah, dude. The few spots that I ate, even the food trucks that, what is it, Barber Supply Cobra,
Yeah.
they were pretty good. Their ceviche with the Tostitos chips were
Yes.
fire, man. So let me ask you this, man. Now that we got Yak in here, basically what we're doing, we're just trying to, I'm just digging into Phill, man, just kind of asking him questions that I personally want to know, and that way he just shares what he knows and what he's been doing, and then people watching get to know him.
Cool.
And we were at the part where I asked him about him cutting hair, how did he get started, and he was basically saying he had one job at Just Tire or Discount Tire? Discount Tire, and then from then he's been doing hair since he was 18 till today. He's 32. Any questions you want to piggyback off that, or should I just keep going?
I mean, yeah. You look. First of all, Man, these Clippers are.
Speaking of
real
Clippers,
quick, like,
oh yeah, this we always do this in the middle of every episode. This episode is brought to you and sponsored by Babel's Pro. And Mr. Phil, if you don't know, I got a brand T-shirt, the GOAT. If you haven't,
Yes.
well, actually, I'm
course.
actually wearing a Scully. This represents that every person that I give it to, man, or buys it, purchase it, is the best person you can be. So there's a little gift. There's a little gift from me and from Babel's, man.
Appreciate
So you got, I don't know what size you are. I got you on medium, I think.
That's right.
There you go.
Round of applause.
Extra
Of course,
medium.
it's medium.
They got them guns. You see them
And then,
guns, bro?
and then I got him the Lowe's Cutter Clipper, man.
Appreciate
That way you can do some work with that, bro. Of course, I appreciate you for being here, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
so
you
are
guys
these
for
mine
having
then?
me.
No. Those
Yeah,
are
man.
just props.
Mines ain't coming yet?
Those ain't got motors,
I
bro.
got you. I'm wait. Whenever you're ready, baby, Orchata, I got you, man. I need an extra large. I'm just saying. All right.
No, but yeah, dude. I just wanted to bless you with that, man.
Appreciate that.
What's your plan for 2023, bro? What do you like? Like, I see what you're doing now, bro. If you, and the cool thing is, it's my job for what I do to also pay attention to who's doing what,
Yeah.
you know? And I see that you're also teaching courses on not just cutting, but on how to shoot content.
Yeah.
And I see that, and that's actually pretty cool. What is, cause you do a lot of it with your cell phone too, right?
Yeah.
So what is it that what are you planning on doing? 50 classes this year.
Yeah.
What are you planning on doing for 2023? Do you want to stay as busy doing classes? Is there a way you're going to switch it up? What are you going to do
Hold
different
on 1 second. 50?
in a year?
You did 50 this year?
Last year. This year. I haven't
2022 or 2021?
2021 was 50. This year, just as much, if not more, because I have more students now. Because I have students, but last year I didn't have any students, and this year I do. I have 5 students right now, 5 apprentices, and so I think I'm doing classes 2 or 3 times a week right now.
Wow.
So I haven't even. I think I did it at the end of the year last year. You know, everybody does their like yearly collage,
Yeah.
and then you have to write something, very, touching, and I was like, damn. I started counting. I was just like, I looked at all my emails, and I was just like, bro, I just did over 50 classes this year. Like, what the fuck? And so this year, I don't
Man,
even.
respect.
I haven't
Much
even, I haven't
respect.
even-
That's
respect.
a lot of work, man.
yeah. It's
Much respect for that.
full time job now.
So what's the move for 2023?
Full time education.
Full time.
I plan to officially probably retire from cutting hair.
Nice.
Can
You'll
you though?
You'll, yeah,
Hold
you'll
on.
never retire.
Hold on.
Literally,
Can you
you'll
though?
never
I
retire.
mean, realistically, walk away from cutting hair?
I don't know.
You cannot.
I
mean, I know
could
some
only
people
speak.
that
I could only speak on myself. I tried. Here's the thing: if you got the
Yeah.
true love for it, you cannot. I'll tell you
Yeah.
straight up from there. If it was more of a business to you to get to your next level, then
Yeah.
I get you walking away.
Yeah.
But I genuinely like cutting hair.
Man.
I
Same.
love fucking with my clients, talking, chopping. Like it doesn't feel like work because I choose my clients now. It's
Yeah.
not as different than when you're just waiting for people, right?
Yeah.
So I thought I retired, bro. I retired
Yeah.
for like a week, and then that one dude got to me. I'm like, all right, bro. And then all right, bro. And then like real people that I couldn't say no to, and then before you know it, I was like, well, why not make extra money
Yeah.
while I'm cutting my fam? And
So I mentally to be honest, because I kind of tell my clients just to see how they're gonna react, and I kind of created a list of certain people that I know I'm gonna keep cutting.
Yeah.
And then the ones that I know, I'm just like, yeah, you made that list, bro. So I feel like they like that. I was like, yeah, I'm on
Yeah.
that VIP list. So I started even posting it like this is my VIP clients, so that when I do stop cutting hair, I'm still gonna cut them, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut them. Like I said, I have guys that I'm cutting at 6 in the morning sometimes. Guys, I'm cutting all hours of the day. But
6
I
in
know,
the morning?
Yeah, man. I
Shit.
just,
what's that ticket look like?
You know what I
it's
mean?
double, man. Easily
Double.
double.
How much you
if not
charge now?
more.
If you don't mind me
So
asking.
in Tucson, my starting prices start at 60. So 60, 75, and 100.
What's
So
100 get you? Oh, what is like
100
full
is
service?
just- yeah, like full
Okay.
service. But
What is that? Hold on. So I'm gonna pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Because, you told me to ask about, dig into the
Right,
man.
right. That's what
So,
we're here for.
yeah. So,
and I'm glad you brought this
you
up.
guys, I
'cause
just
we're
walked
gonna-
in and
we're
hang
gonna go
out.
back-
You
yeah,
guys
we can
got
go
me on the
back.
mic. I buttoned up my shirt,
Yeah.
So 60, 75, or 100?
Yeah.
All right. 60s, hey, how you doing?
Regular haircut.
Get your,
Yeah.
have a
in
nice
and out,
day.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 30 minutes?
About 45.
45?
Yeah.
Okay. 75,
75 is haircut with the beard.
you get the beard.
Yeah.
What
And
you
then
getting for 100?
100 would be, we call it the works. So
Mhm.
it's haircut, beard, eyebrows, pretty much every service that we offer.
So you're kind of grooming them for 100. So
Yeah.
whatever is necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. How much time do you kind of allot for that?
About an hour.
Okay.
Hour 15.
All right. And then do you find that majority of your clients what bracket are they in? Are they mostly like 60, or are they
No,
mostly like they want the 100?
I'm moving to 7. Like it's more between like 80
In the
and
middle?
100 now. So like my 75s are giving me like 80, 90. Then 100 is like 120, 150.
But they want the $75 service.
Yeah, most
And
of
then
the
obviously
time.
they're throwing you whatever because they appreciate
Yeah.
you.
And so then if it's like VIP, then it's double. Whatever their ticket was, it's double than what it was if I'm coming in that early. Or just depends on the scenario. Like I said, like one time I remember I took my son with me because I had my son, and I was like, bro, if I'm coming in to cut you with my son here, like you need to be paying for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we kind of like ticketed it out. But at the same time, we kind of base it off because I know what are you guys charging? You're 200, 300.
Well, I
Remember
don't-
you said it because I just took your class recently.
I charge 200, but
Yeah.
it's how I do it is I only work off referrals.
Yeah.
So I only cut a handful of people, and basically anyone that wants to get in through them, like their boys or their
Yeah.
people they hang out with, that's the price. It's 200 because,
Yeah.
like I told you, I feel like I'm more valuable when I'm not cutting hair than when I am. So
Yes.
that's my value. You need me to cut. That's my price. Jack, where you at?
I'm at 130.
130.
Just for, but then again, that's just if I start getting into like I have two shave brackets. I have a standard shave, which is just pretty much like the shave gel out the bottle,
Yeah.
and then the premium shave with the hot towel services, and
Yeah.
then so on and so forth, threading, waxing.
Yeah, I remember we took your class, and when I
Yeah.
took your class, I was just like blown away. Like we're over here just doing too many services. I'm like, man, this is too much.
Yeah.
And it really like
I
it could
break it
change.
down.
Yeah, it made me
Just
break
time.
it down differently based off of time.
And that's why I was asking you how much time you allot because I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand like Tucson culture, right? So
Yeah.
in Tucson, what do shops charge like demographically in your area?
So that was there's that like what people are charging, and then also I also base it off of like the economy, like cost of living. Like the cost of living out here is a lot higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared
Is
to
it,
like
though?
compared to like Tucson.
Or is it Scottsdale that's really expensive?
Yeah, that's 2 hours out, but like Tucson, it's small, man. It's a lot cheaper. So like I'd say average haircut price is like 20, 25,
Okay.
and it's slowly like growing. So what I'm charging is just like absurd, and nobody's charging that. So I think probably Nicole's the only person charging at that level of what I'm charging now. So we are at
Shout out to Nicole. She
upper
killing it,
echelon.
man. And I know she recently just like opened up her own, right?
Yeah, she just got her own spot.
Is that all her? Because I haven't even talked
Yeah,
to her
that's
about
her.
it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
her own spot. She got her own little spot now. She's doing good for herself, and I'm very, very happy for her.
Yeah, hell yeah. She killing it. I just seen she just like cut up James Conner and
Yeah.
she cutting up the ball players and stuff. So shout out to Nicole. She's killing it over there. I mean, she's just a beast, man. You guys, there's a lot of talent in Tucson. I think Arizona in general, a lot of people sleep on Arizona. And, you're definitely like, I know a couple of, I have a student instructor. Shout out to my man Chips the Barber at Creations Barbershop. He took a lot of like shear classes.
Yeah.
And he went out to the school out there in the UK. What's it called? They have like
The Menspire.
Menspire.
Yeah.
He did the Menspire. He did a lot of different classes with a lot of different. I call them shear artists.
Yeah.
Personally, and I was mentioning you that you were coming, and he didn't know about you.
Yeah.
And I was blown away by that. So I'm like, I don't think there's a lot of people in the States that do what you do
Yeah.
and get recognized
What's
for it.
crazy is I was just saying that.
Really?
I was just saying
Because
it
I feel
before
like
you
a
got-
lot of people look to
I
like the
said
UK
the only- I'm like-
or
I
you know
was-
what I mean?
I was basically saying he's one of the very few people in the States that does sheer work, and that's how he's noticeable. And two, I feel like people that truly know about Phill are people that are deep in the game, that know that should know who Phill is.
100%.
And a lot of people that are starting off, may not know who he is, but it's definitely a person to follow, and that's how I kicked it off in a way, right?
Really?
So you saying that just
Solidified it.
yeah, because it's true. That's how I see it. Like, if you're anyone in the game doing something, gotta know who you are. They have to know. No disrespect to Chips or nothing, but now Chips knows, right?
Oh, he knows. And
Right.
he's excited. And I showed him his page. And right when I showed him your page, he was like, wow, he's a beast. I'm like, oh, man, you guys are in for a treat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, again, I think for you, like you were saying, like really thinking about it, when you say you did 50 classes,
Yeah.
I think like I think you can do as many classes as you want. You could probably double that number
Yeah.
if it's something that you wanted to do
Yes.
because of what you do.
Yes.
And like kind of like respectively, like where a lot of people reach out to me, and I turned down a lot of work now because I really don't have time.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of like just facial hair grooming, shaving, beard sculpting. There's not too many people that really focus on that, and that's just like another niche, that everybody. I feel like everybody has their niche. Obviously, you have the goat lows with the so many different things. But lately, right now, what he's been putting out more is like ladies low cuts with designs and color.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like what you've been putting out, maybe more so your 2023 catalog.
Mhm.
You know, I feel like he's kind of been grabbed. You know, he did his first.
Yeah.
You would have been proud if you were here.
Yeah.
He did his first sheer class.
Yeah, I seen,
sectioning
he
part.
was showing me a video right now. That shit was fire.
Yeah,
I
so
was
he's-
sitting there like, shit, like that's dope.
Did his thing. So
Thanks,
like
bro.
you know, I feel like everybody kind of has their niche, and you definitely are holding it down
Appreciate
with that. So
Yeah.
That's kind of how it started, to be honest. Like with the whole shear thing, because like when I graduated barber school, like I didn't own a blow dryer. I had
Oh, yeah,
like,
who did?
scissors. Like we didn't know how to do none of that. And I remember, I think I talked to I have a lot of mentors, like a lot of people that I've in the industry that I've reached out to or like connect with.
who is that? Hold on, we'll pause you right there. We're gonna go back to that. Give me 3 mentors that you look up to. Who are like
For
3
sure,
people?
for sure, my boy Mark, level
Mark?
3 Mark.
Mark Gray.
Oh, Mark Gray. Shout out to Mark
That's
Gray.
my boy. And we were talking about him earlier, and it's like he really helped me to be an educator. He really gave me the science behind
Phenomenal educator.
behind
man.
you know,
Yeah.
shear work and just how there's structure to it. He helped me structure classes and things. And one of them, the other one I would definitely say would be probably MRK the barber.
Oh
MRK.
man,
My boy Mike
MRK.
Kelly is a beast, man. And
He's been quiet lately, but he's such a
yeah,
savage.
he was the
man.
one that told me, because I asked him, like, well, what am I doing wrong? Like, because like I had this vision of like I wanted to be somebody in the industry. And he told me, like, well, honestly, bro, like looking at your page, like you're just a highlight reel of haircuts. Like there's no personality. You got to find your niche. And like you just said, like you got to find who you are.
Yeah.
So like I just told myself, like, because I remember I really looked up to like Andrew Does Hair. Because
Yeah.
Andrew Does Hair to me was like one of the first guys that brought cosmetology
Yeah.
over to
Into
the barber
barbering,
world,
yeah.
right? And I took a lot of his classes and I really like studied him and really like looked up to him. And so I was like, okay, like I'm gonna be that guy. And so I remember when we did like when the European hairstyles kind of like
Yeah.
came into America, and customers would show you a picture or you would see haircuts and they'd be like, yeah, like the style's dope, but the fade was kind of like
Yeah.
the fade was like, you know, it was
I feel like it's still like that.
yeah.
Well,
Respectfully.
it's just their way of cutting. It's-
Right,
yeah,
right,
it's their-
right,
their-
right.
yeah,
No, but I mean like respectfully, like I just feel like
yeah, I get it.
all right.
Yeah, so like I
I'm
saw
saying.
no, but I agree, and I saw that.
Dollar.
So I just told myself like how can I stand out and how can I be me?
Right.
And I saw that. I was like, okay, well, I know how to fade hair. So if I can do a good fade, like a dope
With
ass fade
that.
with a dope ass style, like
Yeah.
it's
You're
gonna
winning.
I'm just gonna like
Shut it down.
take over, and that's kind of how it started. It wasn't like I just wanted to find something that was gonna be me, because
Right.
I feel like for a long time I was trying to be a Los Cut It. I was trying to be a Mr. Like I remember when you had came to Tucson, and I told you I was like, bro, I've studied all your videos. Like I've watched, I would sit there trying to do reverse backhand on my shit. Like I would study all that, trying to be somebody else. And like I just wanted to be me, and until I really found out who I was or found what my niche was, is when my career kind of just like took off, and that's where I feel.
And
like
it's effortless, bro, because in a sense, right now
Yeah.
you're obviously working, but now you're just doing you.
yeah, and especially now.
Yeah.
Now it's like even when I post shit, like I used to like not post something because I was like, nah, no, somebody's not gonna like that, or
Yeah.
you know, somebody's gonna say some shit. Now I'm just like, bro, they want to say some shit. Like I'm just doing myself.
You're gonna say something regardless.
Yeah, exactly. And I told somebody the other day, like people are gonna judge you regardless whether you're posting good shit or not. Like they're gonna judge you no matter what.
Facts.
And so until I started just posting what made me happy or what I like doing, like making content and things like that.
Facts.
That's when I felt like everything just like took off for me.
Nice.
Oh, dude, savage, man.
All right, so now that we got your top 3, so that's a solid top 3. You
Yeah.
got Mark Gray, MRK,
Yeah.
and
But
then
who was the third one? He didn't say the third
He
one.
did. It
my
was,
third- well, no, Andrew Does Hair was up there. But
Oh,
if
okay.
I gotta go currently or back then.
Wherever. Well, let's go current. Let's go current.
Currently, probably my boy Josh O.P.
Josh
Josh
O.P.
Because
That's a solid.
I tell
line.
people all the time, like if there's something that somebody does that I can't do, like I need to know them. You know, I need to get to know them. I need to understand how they did that. And so he's definitely probably got one of the biggest education platforms in the world right now. Like he's traveling the whole world, you know,
He's a
doing
savage.
tours. And so I
That
definitely
man
look up
does
to,
classes. He's a worker. I remember the first time we met him, he was like, "Yo, I don't know what he said. Some crazy. I just got back from London.
Yeah,
I'm
he
going
told me he
to-"
hadn't seen
was-
his family in like 3 months.
Yeah, he was on a
Oh,
3-month tour, and we were
I
out.
can't go
there.
3 days. Like
Yeah, no,
it's a lot of
Josh.
work, man.
Josh is, bro. That
He's a different
dude
type
is
of
the
beast.
definition of dialed in.
Mm.
Like, this man. This is who I aspire to be in the sense of work, where I disconnect everything and I'm just laser focused. And the good thing is he got his wife with him working.
yeah,
He got a team of people that are helping him, and they're all
good.
lasered in. It's dope. You love to see it, but that dude is waste zero time. He don't party. Like, it's just focus, and he's
I'll tell
he's
you the
killing
truth.
it.
And it's funny that you say that. And I found that for me, in order to be dialed in, quote unquote, right, you almost have to marry the worlds, right? And what I mean by that is, you know, if you're married, you have to bring your girl. You know what I mean? If you have kids, Like I just did an event in Jacksonville. I brought my kids with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we went. They weren't at the show. They popped up for a little bit,
okay.
but then, you know, I handled my business, and afterwards we went to, you know, Orlando.
It is
We
what
went
it
to,
is, man,
you know what I mean? Like we hung out.
Yeah.
We went to, you know, the beach, and we did our thing and all that. So it's almost like, okay, you handle work, and in order for it to work, it's like, you know,
Nice.
you have to marry the world. So I found that as a key for anybody that's watching. For example, just getting out there, and because it can get tough, right? Because if you're out there traveling, you have family, you have kids. You're like, oh, you know, I can't leave my family and go out there and do this. Okay, nobody's telling you to leave them. Bring them with you.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can't, you know, if you're spending too much time away from your girl, and you know, it's like, you know, you're working at the shop all day, but then you're taking on all these extra classes or whatever the case may be. Bring it with you.
Yeah.
You know, so that way you handle business, and then you can also have some downtime. Because I feel like a lot of my experiences like Los. Last month we were in Dubai. We were in London. In 1 month, we went to Dubai and London for a week straight.
Yeah.
You know, wifey was with me on both those trips because after we knocked out our work, you know, we got to enjoy ourselves. What you working for? That's the key. What are you working for?
Ooh,
That's a good
those
one.
facts.
You know?
But yeah, you can't have you out here spending all these gems, man, before your episode.
All right, my fault.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna get featured. I thought you
Oh,
might
no,
have been
you're,
tired.
no, you're season 2, baby.
Oh, season 2.
Yo, so, hey,
back burner.
Maybe you don't know, Phil's our season finale
Oh, yeah?
for our first one.
Really?
Yeah, we're
We still got
gonna.
all December, man.
Oh man, for growing, I'm 4 podcasts ahead, so we still got a few to drop. Phil's gonna drop for another month, I think.
All right, I'm just waiting on Baby Horchata to hit me with my clip.
But we gonna welcome Mr. Baby Horchata. Hey, Baby Horchata, don't play like that, bro. Nah, but yeah, I appreciate you, bro. You
My
already know.
man.
I can't wait to have our episode because you already know we're gonna have the what is it, the hookah? How do you call that in Dubai? The hookah.
The hookah.
Hashi.
Oh, they call it over there. They call it shisha.
Shisha. We're gonna have the
They call it shisha.
all
I'm
that.
Palestinian. You know, we call it argila.
Ooh,
Argila.
shit. Ergila.
All right. Shout
We're
out to
gonna-
everybody that says a shisha, but we smoke argila.
We're gonna have that Ergila ready
No
for
doubt.
your episode.
Phil?
Mark my words.
Hey, I just came to pop in. Shout out to the Los Cut It podcast. Shout out to my man Phill, all the way from Tucson.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hand this mic back to the man, Baby
Yeah.
Horchata. And hold on, you know, I'm gonna end it on this corny joke because my girl told me I had to say it to somebody, so why not say it here?
Damn.
All right, look at her, she's rolling. Because we were saying, all right, let me see if I can get this straight real quick. Hold on. All right, let me see if I can get this straight. All right. Would you rather eat a baby goat
Damn.
or hit me? A matter baby.
A what baby? Whose baby?
That's it. What's the matter, baby? I know it's corny as hell, but she told me I gotta say it to somebody, so there it is.
Oh, I was supposed to say, what's the matter, baby? I thought you meant like metaverse, like the Facebook meta. I was like, all right, meta, baby. Talk about eating goats. All right, Mr. Ruben, Baby Horchata.
Man, what's up, bro?
As a
Toodle that.
comedian, rate that joke.
His delivery garbage, but it's the effort that counts. That was a great conversation, man. You know what? If I get booked for a movie and I'm gone for 6 months, bro, he's a good co-host, bro.
Oh yeah, Mr. Official.
Yeah,
It costs
bro.
money though.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Never mind. I'm a comedian. I don't
Respectfully,
cost-
respectfully,
I'm,
Ruben.
I'm for the free. I'm a comedian, bro. I'm broke. But yeah, man. No, it's dope, man. Just watching you guys just chop it up and like, you know, going into the different perspectives, bro. Because you saw me when he was presenting, bro. I was like this because I have a beard and he was doing a beer presentation. So I was deeply interested in that because I have something to take care of, bro. It's not just having it, bro. It's como lo cuidas, you know. And being able to see him do his thing up there and presentate and seeing just how many students just were very tentative on that because people can do a fade and a haircut,
That's
but
true.
when you're able to do add-on services on any aspect of life, then that's an extra buck. And if you can master that beard level, bro, because people can either be a good hair cutter or a good beard person that cuts your beard, or if they can be a master and be both.
Facts.
Cause I've had a fresh fade, but my beard is lopsided. I got more, so I gotta puff out my cheek a little more, make it look even. But yeah, bro, that's dope.
No, but that's real dope. On a serious note, I was thinking about what Yak was telling you right now, Phil.
Yeah.
I think you should just keep it at one price, man.
Yeah.
I think you said it yourself. If majority of your clients are picking the 150, 200, I mean the 100, 150, they're giving you that. So there's no reason to have that $60 as an option.
Yeah.
I think if you just rounded it off at an even 100, people that stick around, like paying you over 50 anyways, are still gonna pay you that. And then it frees you up more opportunity, right?
Yep.
More opportunity to do more content, more other stuff, more
Yep.
clients. My opinion,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. So I think other than that, bro, you're doing good. And what's crazy, like I said, he was saying everything I was thinking. I told you earlier, and I was
Yeah.
like, dope, because we both think the same about you. And I think
Yeah.
you're on your way. To being here, I wish I could make it to. If I didn't have to fly, I would have been at the school. I would have been
Yeah.
learning, bro. But like I mentioned earlier, I'm not too worried about it because I know I'm gonna see you soon. I want to talk about before we sign out. I want to talk about like your way of content shooting. Do you always shoot with your cell phone?
Nah, I shoot with. Probably got about 3-4 different cameras,
Okay.
and it started with the phone, and then we went up to the Nikons and the Sonys, but for the most part, yeah, we started with the camera with the cell phone. And
Okay.
what it did was I felt like it was more relatable because obviously like having quality content is key. Like I get that, but it's like when I go to a class, I would go to a class and I would have my camera, and then everybody be like, oh, I can't afford that. You know, I can't afford a $2,000 camera.
True.
So it's like, how do we like simplify this? You know, and so we started incorporating that in the classes where people can learn how to make content through their phone because especially with the new iPhones that are coming out, you got like.
So every time you teach a class, you do a video editing or video shooting.
Yeah, so
See,
we're,
that's
we're,
dope,
we're doing
dude.
that tomorrow. So that's what was cool with tomorrow.
With the students?
Yeah, so we like to
Damn.
incorporate it in the classes to where they see that because that's where people started asking like, how do you make content and how are you
Right.
running business and things like that. It wasn't just about shears or scissors, and things like that. It was different. And so once they started asking me that, so I was like, oh, this is a whole nother
Vibe, yeah, it's
a
another
whole
world.
nother, yeah, a whole nother world that I can step into. And that's where I said everything has shifted for me now, where it's like everything is content.
That's dope
so-
because I was thinking of doing that. Me and Bobby were trying to team up and do not a battle. What am I talking about? A class.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't we, like, in the end of each class, we do the way we shoot and the
Yes.
way we record. And then COVID hit, and then we kind of just got off of it. He started doing his thing, I started doing my thing. But the fact that you incorporated, I don't think there's anyone, maybe now, but there's very few people that are incorporating that into a class.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool. And you're doing it with the cell phone because everybody got a cell phone,
yeah,
right?
like like you said, we got you seen the cameras that we got. But I did the classes to simplify it, just to make it to where, let's say you're a beginning barber and you're in barber school,
Right.
and you can't afford a high quality camera yet. It's like no, because I feel like people will reach out and like, yeah, let me take a class with you. Like, how much do you charge?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I can't afford it. I'll wait till I get out of school. And it's like, no, like you need to start doing that now. Or I'll be like, hey, I went and taught at a school recently, and I had all the guys follow me in the school, and like none of them had content. Like none of them had none of their haircuts, and like, well, I'm not that good yet. I was like, no, like it's not about that. It's about one, promoting yourself, and two, use it as your portfolio. Like you
Right.
get to see. Like I've never deleted a photo or a video on my Instagram. I think it's like
Damn.
I'm like 3,500 posts in or something like that.
Now you got me wondering how many.
Yeah, I've never deleted one, just because to me like that's my whole life. So I kind of like I'm vlogging my whole life right now, where you get to see the growth.
Facts.
So you get to look back. If I go look back in 2012, I think Instagram started like 2012, right?
Yeah.
And I look back, I'm just like, oh shit, that was
Yeah.
terrible.
Dude, there was a time where I would make collages. I would make collage of all my haircuts.
Pick play posts, and you make
Yeah.
little collages
Yeah.
and things, And
That
like,
was horrible, dude. But same, I got 4,900 posts.
yeah, and so
4,900 posts. Holy
so I really
shit.
simplified it to where we're doing, because I have a lot of students, like these guys are most of them are just starting, or then I've met guys that have been in the game for 20 years and they've never posted once, on social media, and so that was kind of like my targeted audience. It wasn't the guy that's
Right.
has the super dope camera that already is posting things. It was
Right.
people that
They really don't know.
that really don't
Wow.
know, because to them it just blew their mind.
Right.
They're like, oh, like what apps do you use, and how did you do that transition, And so it's just like we're just gonna incorporate all that, and it's gonna
That's
it
gonna
turn
be
into a whole class.
Dude, you know what? That's actually real smart, man. I've been telling my video guy Carlos to do that because there's a lot of people that just want to know stuff like that. You'd be surprised just off. You didn't even got to cut hair, bro. If you just did a social media class like that, I think one thing I've also noticed is that a lot of people are just trying to do this for the money, man. They want to throw their first class and get rich off of it, or make thousands. But in reality, bro, I think I lost money in my first couple classes because the goal was to prove the concept. If I could prove that I can have a room full of people in here and I can get it filmed, and I could prove that I'm teaching, and I could prove all that, even if it costs me money, I know that when I throw my my official second class, I can charge because I have the proof of concept. And I think a lot of people are just chasing the dollar, man. When if you really just chase and enjoy what you do, bro, the more you do it, it'll grow.
So I get that a lot too. People will reach out and like, how do I become an educator, or how do I do what you're doing? And like I tell them, like, you know how many free classes I did to get paid to do this?
Just to get comfortable enough.
But one, it was getting my reps in, like,
Yeah.
you know, getting the practice in. And two, it's like what you said, like, people need to be convinced. Like, would you take a class and you weren't convinced that there was any kind of value in it?
No, hell no.
Exactly. So you have to show your value. So I told that to somebody recently because they're super good at doing hair, you know, and they're really, really good, but they don't post on social media. People don't know who that person is. So if people don't see value in you, how are they supposed to spend $1 on you?
Yeah.
I go, so I would do these classes just to show value. Like I think every like 1 in 4 for a while, like every 1 in 4 classes I got paid for.
Right.
And it was, most of them, it was just, we got to go there, and we would go and we'd film it, and we'd have to make a video for it.
Facts.
And so that people can see, like, oh, well, Phill teaches. And then people would reach out. And then it's just like proven statistic that every time I do a class and I make a video for it, I get rebooked for a next class. So once I saw that worked, every class we have to film it. Like every class there has to be content, and people are constantly reaching out. And then I think that was the way that I was able to do 50 classes, you know, 50 plus classes in a year, was always recording it and just showing the value and giving out, you know, like, especially now, like with the TikTok generation, like TikTok, you know, it's taken over, and TikTok is different from Instagram. I think when Instagram started, it was more of kind of like a flex, right?
Yeah.
Like this is how good I cut hair. This is what I'm driving. This is what I'm wearing. And now, like with TikTok, everybody wants to learn something. Like this generation wants to learn. So if you're not giving out information, people don't see it.
That's facts.
And I've seen that. Like I've seen a lot of like really, really good barbers in the industry posting their haircuts, and the views are like super low.
Yeah.
Their likes are super low. And I just want to I just want to tell them like, hey, bro, like you have to offer value.
Yeah.
Just showing your haircut isn't enough anymore.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Facts, bro. People gotta learn or feel something.
Exactly. They have to feel some kind of connection. That's value. Like it doesn't have to be skill. It doesn't have to be money. Like the value has to be like, I can relate to that.
That's facts. This is why I'm switching it up next year. There's a lot of things that I'm planning on doing, which is why I'm happy I don't have to travel no more. This is why I like to ask people what they plan on doing for 2023. Did you ever get to answer that?
Yes, I said full-time education.
Full-time education. You
Retire
did.
from cutting hair and just really focus.
So no more content?
No, I'm always gonna make content. So that's where I was shifting, is full-time education and full-time content.
Okay.
Because education, I feel, is like that's my calling. That's what I'm supposed to do. And content, because that's just what I like to do. Like I just love making content.
You follow George Fades on TikTok?
George Face, no.
Dude, that dude, like, it's crazy how he was just like your average barber on Instagram, and then he got on TikTok and just started tips and tricks. Every haircut he got, started sharing tips, and it was just like this guy blew up like crazy. And it's dope seeing that, because some people that are big on Instagram, they can't necessarily keep that same energy or flow into TikTok. They have to switch it up. These are things that I'm learning, right? I'm like, oh, well, I can't be the same person.
Yeah.
I got to give them something new, something more valuable, right? Same thing for you. Like, I know you like to also share, like me, right? You share your Instagram stuff to your TikTok and vice versa, right? But you have to learn to separate the two. Like, what does Instagram want to see? Who are the people that are following me? Comparison to TikTok, that anyone, bro, Ja Rule could stumble across your video like that, just off the algorithm. You know what I mean? So you have to give people different value, and then now we got YouTube Shorts.
Yep.
If you ain't on YouTube Shorts, now that thing, I got this podcast because with this,
I feel like YouTube fell off for a little bit.
I think they were just planning, bro.
Yeah, and then when they came out with the new YouTube, because it's like everything's like fast paced.
Yeah.
Like we live in a fast lifestyle, like fast food, everybody wants fast results. Everybody
Fast
wants
food.
everything fast, right?
Fast food.
Right. And so that's where they came in with the YouTube Shorts. It's just quick to the point. And if you really, really fuck with it, then you'll go watch the full video.
Yeah, exactly. So
Bro.
imagine, bro, we take a clip of this podcast. Somebody could be like, damn, okay, that was interesting. That was funny. Let me watch the whole thing.
That's exactly what happened in the Ivan Zoot clip. We posted the Ivan Zoot clip, and our views on YouTube went.
Yo, shout out to Ivan Zoot though. That was a banger, bro.
That was a
Bro, that was a
banger.
banger.
Like I knew
bro.
he was a goat. Like I knew he was the real
Same.
deal. Like I've seen him at shows, bro, and he's the best salesman I've ever met in my life. Like I went to his booth and I bought like 5 things just because he just sold me on
Bro,
everything.
he could probably sell a hair comb to Mr. Official, bro. Like,
But like I just knew that aspect of him. I didn't know that this dude was like, he's like a borderline genius, man. And I was just like,
he's a
the things that he was saying were just like
So smart, bro. So smart. And there's nothing you could ask. You could ask my man Ivan Zoo about the two chickens fighting each other in Mexico, and he'll know some shit about that.
You're like, oh, the two chickens from
Yeah,
like.
did you know they have to strain the chicken before like he'll know some shit. Like he'll know a fun fact, and bro. We were testing him. We're like,
Oh my.
like we asked him if he knew what horchata was. Remember
Yeah.
that? And he was like, yeah,
Yep.
like a little ear. That's what they call it in Italy. They call it horchata. So I'm like, damn, bro.
I was like, bro, he is a tour, bro. In his past life,
Yeah.
bro, he was a tour guide somewhere, bro.
Oh my God.
In like Madagascar, he was like, so over here we have the giraffe that talked in Madagascar 1.
Yeah.
It's
no.
also known as
So-
Crick Rock, but yeah.
So what about you?
What about me?
What's your plan for next year?
Take over the world.
Yes, sir.
Like, I got a variety of plans. I got a whole list that I wrote of goals that I want to do next year. But I think most importantly is it's about time I switch it up. I think I've been running with the same style, same gimmicky approaches, same of a lot of things, not just on content, but like when I educate, when I teach,
Yeah.
when I travel. I think.
I felt that when you taught in Tucson recently.
What'd you feel?
Like, you didn't really want to teach what you were there for. Like, you wanted to talk about something else.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Because it needed to be said. And but you felt it.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I
you
don't
didn't-
want to waste no one time, especially
Yeah,
myself.
You didn't walk in there just like, I want to teach something else. No, you started teaching and you're like, nah, hold up.
Because you know what it was, bro.
This is what the fuck we're going to do.
You know what it was? It was the fact that I was on a 10-foot stage,
Yeah.
and yeah, they had TVs on there, but I just noticed that I could have sat there that whole hour and really taught a haircut
Yeah.
step by step, but it wouldn't have had the same impact if I just did what I did. I stopped and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna cut hair, but I'm also gonna pitch as much information as I can in 1 hour for everybody.
Yeah.
Because these are things that I struggled in 24 years that I've learned.
Yeah.
And I was able to just drop knowledge as much as I could, bro, because I knew that was going to be more impactful and it was going to stick with you guys
Yes.
rather than me just cutting this girl's hair from up there, way up there.
Yeah.
So that's how I
But
felt.
it was things that needed to be said, and it was things that, like you were saying, I'm sitting there just yeah, he's right. He's
You ever hitting your barbers? You see?
Yeah, I was
Mira,
I was sitting there like that.
chingón,
Like,
bro.
you see what he's saying? Like, the goat is saying that. Are you listening? Like,
That's dope.
and so it was good. Like, I really saw that you wanted that. Like, you were not that you were tired of doing it, but you wanted to like evolve yourself to more
Yeah.
than just the guy that like you do the designs and they're creating. They're mind blowing, bro. They really
Thank you,
are.
bro.
Like, to this day, could never do that in my life. Like,
Thanks, bro.
could never in my life do that. But I felt that you wanted to do a lot more.
Yeah, because I feel like everyone that does know me knows that I could do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me show you something else. Like, now I want to show something else, And it's going to come out. I don't want to talk about it now because I feel like, I don't know, I don't want to jinx it or nothing. But there's things that I got planned that I'm starting to prepare as of, tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
I actually started today. Today was the first official day that I had nothing to do, nothing in my schedule. The rest of the year is clear. I got to go to LA tomorrow for a few days, but that's more like fun with Sophie and work and filming. They take care of all the hard stuff. I just got to show up. But when I get back for the next 2 months, the rest of November, December, and January is what I'm going to really take in and just lock myself in. Because what I did, I used the holidays, bro.
Yeah.
My philosophy on that was, what do holidays do, right? Holidays, whether you're a nail tech, a makeup artist, whether you're a barber, a hairstylist, whether you're a comedian, whatever it is, if you're a content creator, people use the holidays to create things that are gonna just in and out, right? So they'll do a Halloween theme. All right, boo, everybody, no one's gonna remember that in 2 months. They'll do a Christmas theme. They'll do Thanksgiving, whatever the hell. Well, at the end of the day, come February, that look isn't gonna be an iconic. It's not gonna last forever. It's just for that moment. So I was like, all right, well, instead of doing all that like I was, I'm just gonna shut down. I'm gonna disappear and I'm gonna just train. I'm gonna train myself. I'm gonna train a lot of things. I'm gonna get better at styling. I'm gonna get better at understanding my product knowledge. I'm gonna get better at my education, my shear cutting, my techniques, and I'm gonna just practice. So come January, when I feel like I could do anything, then when show season starts, I'll be ready. Not only will I be ready to go and travel and kill shit, but I'll be ready to host my personal classes here. Yeah. I'll be able to not think about it, but I got the space big enough to do like. If I do a personal class, I'm not really always big about packing house because I could pack a house.
Yeah. No, I was gonna ask you that.
What's
too,
up?
Because you started doing that, like the one-on-ones. And I was even gonna reach out, and then I kind of just like. Well,
So yeah, so
maybe he's not doing that no more.
No, I did the master class in 2019.
Yeah.
It was a success. It was like, whoa, it was so dope. And then I had 2020 planned, and then 2020 happened. Then 2021 happened. I wasn't prepared. And then 22 happened. I was busy. But I knew that there was a shift in the game. So I knew I was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and charge $1,500, $2,000 for a master class if I'm still teaching what I knew in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it wasn't fair. I wasn't going to let because I don't do shit for the money, bro. I really don't. What I wanted to do was learn something newer, learn something better, so I can teach it. So this is why 2023, I'm going to drop a masterclass. But I don't know if I want to call it a masterclass. I think that's just going to be the foundation of my everyday class. Just like how you incorporate your content creating a video in the end of your classes and people appreciate that. I wanted to be where like, hey, every time I take a Lowe's-cutted class, dude, we do a legit photo shoot, a legit video shoot. Like, that's what it is. It's not just a hair cutting class.
Yes.
It's a hair cutting, a beard cutting, or whatever, but that's included, a legit space. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been planning on it because I don't like half-assing shit, bro. I've done it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. I'm never going to do it just to get a quick buck because it's my reputation online. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I think about it. But it's coming, bro, and I want to do something sick. I got my video guy included, Carlos, directed by Los, who's going to teach the videography aspect of that. And then Ricky's probably going to hold it down on the photography. And then I'm just going to hold it down on everything else. And then I might have Ruben out here with some jokes.
Yeah, I'll teach him how to say a punchline. So
yeah, deliver.
Mr. Rich was my first student. We got to work on that. But yeah, man. Nah, this is dope, man. I always ask this question to everybody that pops up in here, bro. If it was not barbering, not content creating, not teaching, what would you be doing?
Oh, man.
And it's hard, you know, trust me. I told this to Lowe's. He was like, it don't matter. I'm going to be the best at whatever I do. And I was ready for 100%. And
okay,
then
that was my first answer. I was like, nah, don't say that.
No, but see, hold on. The way he said it, I didn't say it. I didn't say it like that. Yeah. I just said, honestly, I don't know. And I bet you that whatever it would have been, I would have been good at it.
Yeah, but that one more no hustle, bro. He was like, you know,
I had to just hit the gym. So
he had the Leo vibes on that, bro. So
I've never really thought of it though, to be honest, because I love what I do, and like if I'm doing what I love and I can make money doing it, why would I change it? You know?
Yeah.
And so for me, I never really thought of it, to be honest.
Gotcha.
But I know that, like you said, like respectfully, humbly, that whatever I just said, I did change something. I know that I would take it 100% because that's kind of the person that I am. Like anything that I do, I'm fully focused on it at all times.
No, true. You know, and I understand that. You know, I always like seeing where people would be if there wasn't what, you know, already was. So like, I just ready to hear you guys say, I'd be an astronaut, or I'd be.
What would you do?
Me?
Yeah.
Man, that's not fair. No, if there was pretty much the entertainment world was gone, bro. Man, I probably. Man.
He'd be in the kitchen making tamales.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be there in the kitchen with pops. Nah,
that's a tough question.
No, it is now. Yeah, now that I'm getting, I used to judge y'all for, but no, I probably would be man.
Exactly. So stop asking that damn question. It's so damn hard, bro. You're literally you do know that, but let me say it again. People that I bring in here, bro, are people who devoted their life to this craft. I don't think they're people that just been like, hey, I want to be a barber. Let me see what this is about. So coming from that, well, that's all I've ever done is hair. And you ask me that question, it's like me telling you, like, what's the first thing you do? You woke up and you're a girl tomorrow.
Damn. Oh, you don't want to know
it's
that.
Just right. But it's something that you just don't know because you don't know what it's like to be a female. You don't know. You've never been in that situation. So
no me grites, bro.
Now maybe the question that you should be asking is, if you didn't do hair, what was something that you would today like to have done?
What do you say?
What I'd like to have done?
Yeah.
I think before the whole like barbering thing came in, I wasn't really into like I was gonna be like a psychologist or a child psychologist.
See, okay.
Really
but that plays a role in what we do anyway.
Yeah, I really like to understand.
You're already
people.
a therapist, bro.
Yeah, I read people. Like I can, you know, with the way you talk, I gauge who you are. You know, I'm very good at reading people and just trying to understand people.
Hell yeah.
And so I think that's applied to, like you said, with barbering, with business and things like that. And so I guess, yeah, if the barber thing didn't work out, psychology, here I come. But
there you go.
Gotcha.
Major.
Yeah.
No, but do Phil. Yo, go ahead. You're gonna close. Cause I was gonna close it out right now.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay. Well, okay. If we're gonna close it out. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. 14 episodes.
This is it, guys. This is season 14. We ended it with my homie Phill from Tucson. Yo, thank you, bro.
Thank you.
It sucks that all we got out of today was a podcast, but tomorrow's gonna be a good day for you. There's more coming. I will definitely like to jump on a collab with you this upcoming year. Now that I'm gonna be improving my shear game a little better, maybe you and I can create a concept that fits only shear cutting or somewhere in that style. And I definitely gotta go visit y'all over there, man. You know what I mean? Maybe do some stuff out there too.
When you and our chat to pull up to her.
No, you guys can both go, and you just give me the tacos.
No, we're gonna pull up in the hood, bro. But yeah, man. Hey, big shout out to Arizona, man. It's definitely a growing area. Me and my boy Mario, episode 4 was he? Yeah, 4 or 5. We're gonna be shooting a movie out there, so in the springtime next year. So I'm ready to burn up.
It's hot, bro.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was over there and it was like 117, and it was like jump in the pool, and I'm like, bro, what do you mean? My head is still gonna be above water. Like, it's that hot.
They want you to drown, pretty much.
Yeah, like but. Dude, thanks again, man. That's your
you,
camera right here, bro. Let the people know where they can find you, your IG, your information, and last word of advice.
My name's Phill. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. My Instagram is barberphill15. And the best advice I can give anybody that wants to be somebody, it doesn't matter who you are, no matter what you want to do. As long as you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want. I promise.
Yep. Let's go.